The best way to get a six-pack is to make sure that you're eating right and also that you're training your abs.
And great, that's a wrap.
Good, what's the next video we're doing? What's up guys, Jeff Cavalier, ATHLEAN-X.com. If only it was that easy. Well, guess what guys, it actually is that easy. When it comes to getting a six-pack, there's two very big things you need to do. And unfortunately, there's no way around it. You do have to eat right, and you do have to train your abs. Let's talk about the eating right real quick. Because if you don't do it, the rest of the video doesn't really matter. Guys, you need to have a good nutrition plan in place if you want to see the best results, because whether you see your abs or you don't is really a body fat accumulation issue. And the best way to get rid of body fat is to be in a caloric deficit, so you have to make sure you're eating right. I did an entire video on how to eat for a six-pack that I'm going to link for you at the end of this one so you can go into the details on that. But the training side matters too. And it's not just whether you're training your abs, because you could do something or you could do it right. What I want to do is give you the smartest way to train your abs so that we make sure that you get the best results in the fastest amount of time. So with that being said, let's start covering each one of those components because they all matter one by one. And so the first thing you're going to want to do if you want to develop a six-pack is admit that there's probably an aesthetic goal here, right? If you're looking for six-pack abs, it's not just about their pure function, but really what they look like. And you're looking for that complete picture, well, you got to do one big thing for me. Stop ignoring ab training. You see, thinking that training through your other lifts is enough because of the ancillary work that the abs get is plenty of work for them is a big mistake. When you think about the role that the abs play during these exercises, they really are playing just that bracing stabilization role that I mentioned. Preventing lateral movement of the spine, preventing rotation of the spine, again, controlling and preventing movement, but we know that the abs have a function in actually producing movement, so we need to train them as well. If you want to get your abs to look the best they can, you're going to have to do some dedicated ab training. That means doing direct ab workouts. Now here's the good thing. We're only talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes long in terms of these ab workouts. I've got plenty of them up on our channel. I'll link one of these for you at the end of this video as well. But remember, doing just the ancillary work through the other big lifts is not enough to get your abs to the peak shape that you want them to be. The next thing I want you to consider is when you do your ab workouts. Right? Because it matters. It matters a lot actually. Because if you're just doing your ab workouts at the end of any workout you're doing right now, you're introducing a few big issues that are going to cause you to not get the results you're looking for. Number one, general fatigue. We just talked about the fact that some people believe that all of the ab work they need comes through the training that they're doing on their regular workout. Well, that's not sufficient in my mind. You're still getting a contribution of the abs during those moves, so fatigue becomes an issue. And whenever you try to contract a muscle in a fatigue state, you're never going to get the type of contraction you're looking for. And as you're going to see here in a minute, the quality of contraction matters more for ab training than maybe any other thing you do in the gym. So you want to make sure you're prioritizing it. Even if we put it at the end of our workout, it's oftentimes the first thing to get cut, right? It is the afterthought of the workout. So if the wife says, hey, you got to get home early for dinner, or you had to wait too long in between sets, it's going to be the thing that gets cut. And when you're trying to prioritize how they look, that's not what you want. So what I'm suggesting you do is take it and put it at a separate time during the day, preferably sometime before your workout or far enough removed from your workout that fatigue is no longer an issue. For me, it's about 10:30 p.m. at night. Again, it's not ideal, but I work out late at night after the kids go to bed, and then I give myself a break up to almost an hour between the end of that workout and when I do my abs. And again, we're only talking about 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes. That is a really short amount of time that you can dedicate at a separate time of the day. And what it's going to do as well is help you to develop that ritual of ab training, to make it part of a separate thing that you do that's independent of your overall workout, that gets you in the habit of doing it consistently, because when you do it consistently, that's when the results are going to come. The third thing you're going to want to do when you want to develop your six-pack is stop counting. So for the mathematically challenged out there, I'm going to make your job a hell of a lot easier. Stop counting reps and make your reps count. I've said that quite a few times on this channel, but when it comes to ab training, it is most important. It's the quality of every contraction that you do that matters the most. It's very much like the corrective exercises that I program here on this channel. When we're talking about training the rotator cuff, muscles that oftentimes are dominated by the bigger muscles that want to take over for them and make them not do the job they're supposed to, well, we need to go very slow and deliberate. We need to make sure that that muscle's doing the work. Well, when it comes to the abs, there's a lot of muscles that tend to want to dominate. The hip flexors, namely. And if you let them do the work for you on every single repetition, then you're not getting the benefits you think you're doing just because you're cranking out rep after rep. So in order to make this work, guys, you want to focus on the quality of every single contraction that you produce, which is going to bring us to the next point here. How fast are you doing your reps? So keeping with that corrective exercise focus that we were just talking about, the pace also matters. How quickly are you doing every single rep? Because it's never about A to B when you're trying to do an ab exercise or a rep of any ab exercise. It's about A to Z, and that means everything in between. B, C, D, E, F, G. Every single step of the way throughout the ab exercise matters. So what does that mean on a typical crunch? Well, how are you doing yours? Again, if you're just repping them out and counting, then I can already tell you're not doing them right. But if you try to initiate the movement with the abdominals, okay, so that means not grabbing the neck. That means not just rolling the shoulders forward. That means not anchoring your feet under something and just pulling your body up. It means starting from just below your chest and pulling that rib cage down and in, and then thinking about the shoulders and rolling them off of the mat, creating that spinal flexion that's necessary to concentrically target the abs, right? That added benefit of that direct ab training where we include the functions of the abs beyond just that stabilization role that they play through the other big lifts. Guys, the focus and the intention on every repetition you do is going to deliver the greatest results. Stop worrying about how fast you get them done. Stop worrying about how many you're doing. Focus on that quality, and I promise, guys, the results will show. So you're doing your ab workouts at a separate time of the day. You're focusing on the quality. You're not counting anymore. But how long are you resting in between sets of the exercises that you're doing? Because that matters too. And when it comes to ab training, guys, these muscles are built for performance over and over and over again. So what you want to make sure you're doing is not resting very long in between sets. I remember an old-fashioned Universal Bodybuilding workout magazine that I got where they told you the number one most effective thing you could do for ab training was to decrease the rest between exercises to the point where you were going right through all the exercises in the workout without resting at all. Now that's not necessarily realistic for a lot of us, but what we want to do is limit the rest. So instead of resting in between sets like you normally would, 90 seconds or 2 minutes between traditional exercises, try to find a way to either not rest at all or to keep those rest periods to a minimum like we do in a lot of our workouts, 30 seconds or so max. If you do that, you keep that cumulative fatigue coming that allows us to continue to pile on the tension and the stress to the abs that gives us the results that we're looking for without necessarily dragging those workouts out too long. Again, 8 minutes max can get the job done. Okay, so you've taken that more intelligent approach to ab training, but now what do? Do you just simply finish your workout and leave? No, because just like any other muscle, it would benefit to stretch that muscle. And it's always best to stretch that muscle after you train it, right? So we're not impairing or interfering with the production of force that the muscle produces in the beginning of the workout. So what we do is we end the workout with an ab stretch. And there's two simple ways to do this. Either you just simply turn over onto your stomach and perform a stretch like this, really trying to, again, pull the rib cage away from the pelvis. Try to get as high as you can with the bottom of your chest. And again, keeping those hips in contact with the ground is going to produce a really nice stretch on the abs that you likely never have felt if you never stretch your abs. The other way to do it is to simply lean over the back of a physio ball. And again, drop the hips down to separate the pelvis from the rib cage, and you'll feel a really nice but intense stretch on the abs that's oftentimes long overdue because we simply always forget to do this. Remember, guys, your abs are muscles too, and as I say all the time, all muscles matter. How you train them matters as well. If you're looking for that smart training approach, not just how you apply it to your abs here, but also how you eat and the other workouts that you do, you can find them all wrapped up in one place over at ATHLEAN-X.com. All of our programs laid out step by step for you to follow. If you found the video helpful, make sure you leave your comments and thumbs up below. How many of these things maybe have you overlooked in the past but won't after today? And if you haven't done so, guys, make sure you click subscribe, turn your notifications so you never miss a new video when we put one out. All right, guys, see you soon.